Hey guys, Brent here. Has this ever happened to you? You arrive at a beautiful scene like this and you're just not quite sure how to capture it. What settings to use, what angles, what lenses, what composition rules should you use and which ones should you disregard? And as the seconds tick by, you get that dreaded feeling inside of you. Why can't I just see the scene? And you're tempted to resort to what you did in the past, shoot 1,000 images, zooming in, zooming out, all different angles, and hoping that you get that one good shot. But you know that the scene deserves so much more. You want to capture the essence of the scene. You want to capture the spirit, the soul, the feeling that you're getting at this beautiful place. Well, I know exactly how you feel. This happened to me on a recent trip to Africa. And it's a little bit strange because I've helped tens of thousands of photographers from around the world in the last 17 years as a pro photographer. And here I was in Africa on my first photo safari that I was leading, 8 other photographers on the vehicles, and I just couldn't see the scene. I didn't know what to do. I froze. Let me tell you about the story and the 2 things that I learned that'll help you overcome this problem. I was really excited to finally be in Africa. This photo safari that I'd been organizing for about 2 years, and I was finally there. We flew in on this little plane, got into these vehicles, and our guide spotted some activity at this waterhole. And there, right in front of us, was about a dozen African elephants, huge, magnificent creatures. And I grew up in Africa, and I've never been this close to wild African elephants like that. I could taste the dust in my throat. I could hear the elephants drinking and slurping and doing that little low rumbly sound that they use to communicate with each other. And right in front of me was this awe-inspiring African scene, a perfect photo opportunity. Dozens of elephants, all different sizes and ages, the muddy water, the blue sky, a dead tree on the side, the harsh winter African sun, and I froze. I didn't know how to capture the scene. I looked down at my camera bag and I didn't know what to use. Should I use my wide angle lens and capture the entire scene, or should I take out my fancy new 600mm lens and go for the details? And what composition rules should I use? There's so many things happening at this waterhole. I didn't know how to shoot it. And then one of my clients turns around and says, "Brent, how should I photograph the scene? What lens should I use?" And I'm like, I just don't know. Here I am, a pro photographer leading 8 other photographers, and I couldn't see the scene in front of me. Where had all my creativity gone? Where had all those years of experience gone? I didn't even know where to start. And in the past, what I would have done was take out a zoom lens, go wide, shoot everything, zoom in and try and capture all the visual elements and be done within a few minutes and ready to move on to the next scene. But my past images were more like snapshots, which is okay. I got hundreds of snapshots from all over the world, but not anymore. I'm wanting deeper images. I'm wanting images with more soul. I've learned a few things in my 17 years as a professional photographer. And today, and in the videos I want to send you in the next few days, I want to teach a few of those techniques and those things I've learned to see a scene and how to capture the soul of it, especially when it comes to composing your shot. Sitting there at that waterhole in Africa, I took a few slow breaths and I focused my mind. I remembered 2 things, 2 lessons I learned over the years. Firstly, when you arrive at a new place and you've never been before, it's okay to not know what to include and not know what to exclude. It's okay to not know what lens to use and what settings to use. It's okay to not see the scene right away. Instead, what you should do, and what I suggest you do, is slow down. Take a deep breath, or 2, and just start noticing everything around you. Take it all in, all the visual elements. the smells, the tastes, the sounds. Each place has a rhythm about it, and you need to slow down to get into tune with that rhythm. Forget about your gear for a minute and simply be present in the scene. What do you notice? And once you've given yourself time to take it all in, see everything, notice everything, I want you to ask yourself this question: how does the scene make me feel right now? And it's that feeling that I want you to capture. How best are you going to capture that feeling? Because in 10 years' time or 20 years' time, when you look at these images, it will remind you of the feeling you had when you photographed those images. The rawness of the scene, the mood, the energy, the atmosphere. That's what I want you to focus on. So if you rushed into a scene and you're shooting like crazy and you haven't given yourself enough time, those images will remind you of how stressed and how rushed you were. But if you've given yourself enough time, you've calmed down, you've taken a breath, you've seen everything, you've felt it, and you've decided what to photograph, then those images will remind you of the calmness and the tranquility around you. And maybe when someone else sees the images that you've taken at this place, they'll feel those same feelings that you had when you took those photos. So when I focused on being more present at this waterhole and I'd taken a few breaths, it brought back memories from my childhood growing up in Africa. Memories of when I used to go to the Kruger National Park with my grandfather, the excitement and the wonder and the curiosity and the appreciation. And I started to notice that the elephants were interacting with one another. And then I realized that this whole big group of elephants was one family unit with aunts and uncles and teenagers and babies. And I saw the love and connection they had with each other. This is the image that I wanted to share with you from this waterhole. Notice the little baby elephant surrounded by all the adults protecting it. That's the feeling, the love, the protection. That's what I got at this waterhole, and that's what I want to share with the rest of the world. Over the next few days, I want to share 2 more videos with you and teach you some of the lessons I've learned in capturing the soul of a scene. Tips that have helped me go beyond photographing just facts and allow me to capture the sense of feeling. So next time you find yourself somewhere special, a place that you know deserves more than a snapshot, firstly, slow down, be present. Take time to really see the scene, the details, take it all in. Become familiar, get into sync with the rhythm of the scene. And secondly, go beyond just seeing the scene and focus on feeling it, experiencing the scene. What kind of feelings do you get? What kind of energy is over there? What the atmosphere, the mood? I love photography, don't you? And I love sharing these tips I've learned over the last 17 years as a pro. So be sure to check out my next video, because that's where I give you 3 tips on how to capture that feeling, that soul in your photograph. And I'll tell you how I almost died and ended up in hospital. Bit of a funny story. But all that in your next video. I hope you find these tips helpful. Please comment below and let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, comment below and I'm here to help you. This is Brent. Have an awesome day.